How's it going, guys? My name is Zach with the Movie Castle, and today we're going to be taking a look at Chainsaw Man Volume 6. And yeah, this does have quite the striking cover, but don't worry, YouTube, you can't actually see anything, of course. But Volume 6, boy, does this one go pretty crazy pretty quick. There's quite a few stuff that happens right at the beginning that in this section of the review I'll only try to vaguely allude to, but when we switch to the close-up camera, I'll talk in more details about those big early revelations. But keeping it vague for right now, Volume 5 rounded out the Samurai Sword arc, and you think, okay, we're having a little bit of a break, Denji's meeting this new girl, and the end of Volume 5 said she's not who she says she is. And I was thinking we'd have more time to kind of sit on this, and, you know, that love triangle between Denji and Makima and Reze, you know, you were expecting that to simmer a bit. But no, it explodes really quick, and actually the entirety of this volume covers this big battle that ensues when Reze's true nature is revealed, and it gets pretty big and crazy. Honestly, towards the end of this book, we're talking fight scenes jumping from car to car on a moving highway. I thought the Samurai Sword battle was pretty good. This one, I think, does manage to top it. We get Denji learning more about his abilities. Some people are saying, hey, look, you have a devil heart. You saw what Samurai Sword could do. Don't you think maybe you can do more with your abilities? And honestly, the battle here is so big and epic and on such a big scale that it kind of feels like a Terminator 2 moment at times, and you really do get this sense of danger, much like when Samurai Sword showed up. The idea that you think you're at peace, you think it's a good everyday moment, but then surprise, I hope you had your guard up, because all of a sudden we're going to be scraping by the skin of our teeth and just barely managing to survive here. And yeah, that danger is up, but man, talk about a good prolonged action sequence, a battle that lasts almost the entirety of this whole book, and I won't spoil it, but honestly, a pretty sad ending to this. That final scene in this book is such a good gut punch, and I really do like it. So overall, this played out a little bit faster than I thought it would, but a lot bigger than I thought it would. And if you guys want a big action sequence, then yeah, this is a good book for you, and I know it's a lot of people's favorite volume. It's really interesting. But anyway, without further ado, I'm going to switch to the close-up camera. I'll show you guys a little bit more of this physical release, and I will say from here, I will be talking about those setup moments that I've been trying to avoid from here. I mean, even just flipping to the back of this book or taking a closer look at the cover, we have kind of an idea what's going on. So I'll be avoiding major spoilers, but those big initial setup twists, I will talk about them openly from here on out. So without further ado, to the close-up camera. Alright, here we are inside the castle taking a closer look at Chainsaw Man Volume 6. Right off the bat, a really striking cover. Again, YouTube shouldn't get mad at me, but, you know, you can't actually see anything, and this is artwork here, but a quite striking picture of Reze. Her purple hair kind of ties into this analogous color scheme, and we get Chainsaw Man and Bomb behind her. The back cover also features Reze, and we get the summary and the barcode information up top, T+, $9.99 US, Viz Media, Shonen Jump. Now this one on the back is the same as the spine portrait with the green number 6, and if we flip it to the inside of the manga, we get to see that the back is taken from the cover of Chapter 46, Massacre Melody. So there is the black and white version for you guys. Also a little doodle of Pochita goofing around as he always does. Anyway, crack the book open. Under the picture at the front, we get I Love Coraline, the Neil Gaiman stop-motion animated movie. And then inside, we get the secondary cover image, and we get to see that this volume is called Boom Boom Boom. Now, we all know the volumes are based on the first chapter, so we get to see in the contents here, chapters 44 through 52, and we get Boom Boom Boom, Kaboom, Kaboom, Kaboom is another chapter, as well as a chapter called Sharknado. That's pretty great, not gonna lie. Before the chapters, though, we do have our previously on in character sheets. I always appreciate these because they really help you keep all the characters' names in your head, and if it's been a while since you read the last volume, we get it previously on right there. That's great. Also, Reze and the Violence Fiend get their little character bios here, so this stuff is always really cool. Anyway, after that, I'm going to talk about the story proper. Now, I'll be avoiding major spoilers, so I'll try not to go any farther towards the end than I have to. But that being said, there's a lot of early on big stuff that happens. Not really end of the book spoilers, but kind of set up for the story spoilers, and it's hard not to talk about them. So I'd say this is one that if you wanted to go in completely not knowing anything, it would be good. And if you want to pause the video here, go read the manga and come back, that might be a good idea. But yeah, I'll talk about the big events that happen really early on in the book, but I'll try not to go too far towards the end. Anyway, we open up here with Reze saying, "Hey, Denji, I really want you to come away with me, and I like you." But will Denji choose to run away? Well, of course not. He's like, "Look, I like you too," and it takes him a bit of courage to say this, but he's like, "I've actually built up something of a life here, and I can't throw that away." And that's where we get the fireworks of the festival going off behind her, this nice big kiss, and you think, wow, Denji's finally got something good for him. Until it's all just a trap. She bites off the end of his tongue. It's really gross, but he's Chainsaw Man, he can regenerate. And she slashes his throat in this cruel move. So yeah, Denji would be down for the count in a sneak attack, but luckily the Shark Fiend is going to save him, who thinks he's the coolest thing ever, and yeah, he's going to take her away. We also see who she is. Her necklace is sort of her trigger object. She pulls the pin, and her head explodes, which is such a bizarre and disturbing transformation. But of course, after she explodes, she regrows into Bomb there, with a really weird and strange design, this sort of big bomb head with a firework apron and fuses for hands. Yeah, it's pretty disturbing. But we then cut later to Aki there, and Aki is training with an old friend from Section 2, and his friend says, "Hey, in a couple years I'll probably be captain. You should come over here with me." And then later the Angel Devil says, "You're not going to be alive in a couple years. Why didn't you tell him that?" Well, of course, this is all cut short when the Shark Fiend comes over and warns everybody about Bomb, and she is going to try to trick them, saying she's just an innocent girl being chased, but the warning was enough. They're not going to fall for that, and we get an all-out attack on this Section 2 training facility, and we get to see some of her strange abilities. Like, for example, when she explodes and becomes Bomb, well, it turns out whatever doesn't get blown up of her physical body, she does kind of have command over. So when she pulls the pin, she'll actually knock her head off, and by throwing her head into the building, she'll get a chance to spawn inside of the building, because that's where her head blew up. But also, turns out, still having command of her old unexploded body there to go and attack people. That is really, really strange. But of course, when you're dealing with someone who can blow up like a bomb, yeah, people are going to get absolutely wrecked by this girl. And yeah, you get to see that these, like Katana before her, these people are super, super dangerous. I also like that one tries to use the fox, and then much like when they tried to use the fox on Samurai Sword, the fox devil is going to abandon this hunter and spit her right back out because of the horrible, horrible taste. But anyway, we will get some moments from Shark Fiend and Violence Fiend right there. A little bit more depth into the fray. But also, we'll get them chased onto the road. They try to get Denji away to go for help. And we get to see Bomb over there leaping through the sky on explosions and landing right on top of this truck. It honestly almost feels like a Terminator 2 segment. The action in this book goes really great. There is another scene I really like earlier where they try to interrogate the Shark Fiend, and they're like, tell me all you know about the bomb, and he does let loose some more information about how she's a right hand of the gun devil. Well, how do you know this? I can't tell you, I'll be killed. Oh, by the devils? No, by Makima. Yeah, you never know what all she knows and what she's up to. But anyway, after that, we actually do get pretty much the rest of the volume being a nice, long, drawn-out fight. I said before that a lot of the Chainsaw Man volumes have like a midway point and then they start the next thing, but this one pretty much goes right to the end, and the last chapter is the ending of this plot arc, and it does end on quite the note, I will say. Overall, though, this is a really stellar volume. Kind of felt like we jumped into another major battle and another major finale. And I hope we get a little bit of downtime after this, because, yeah, that was a lot to process. But overall, a very good volume. Definitely love it. Definitely can recommend it. And I can't wait to see what we have. Part 1 goes up to volume 11, so only 5 more. And I can't wait to see what all happens after this. Anyway, to everyone who's watched so far, thank you for watching. To everyone who's liked and subscribed, thank you. You really are helping the channel out. I'll leave a relevant playlist on the bottom. This should be my Chainsaw Man playlist, where you should find my reviews of all the past volumes in there as well. Anyway, have a good day. I'll see you guys again very, very soon. Relevant playlist on the bottom. Have a good day now.